I'm Joe Carens, and I'm interested in questions about justice, which makes the Institute for Social Justice a good place for me. When I started out, there were these experiments going on in Cuba and elsewhere trying to build a more just society, one built on equality, one in which people were committed to one another and acting out of a sense of social duty. And a lot of people were skeptical about the possibility of building a world like that. They say, well, people are self-interested, you can't get them motivated. But I never thought that was the case. I thought the problem was not motivation. Most of us would rather live in a world in which we have the sense that we're being treated fairly and others are being treated fairly, and we want to engage with each other and support one another and contribute to one another. You're not harming others, and you're being treated in a fair and respectful way. And so, to me, that requires almost complete economic equality. I mean, there has to be collective expenditures, distribution according to needs with things like healthcare and education and so on, but basically a very, very high level of economic equality. So then I was casting around for another topic, and this was a time when there were Haitians trying to get into the United States as refugees, and they were being stopped. I was having conversations with people, and they said, well, we can't take them all in. If we take in the Haitians, what about people from other countries in similar circumstances? There are just too many. So this was a case where I didn't really know what I thought. I thought, on the one hand, the Haitians should be allowed to come in, and on the other hand, what about those concerns which seem to be reasonable concerns? So how to think about that? So I did what we teach people to do. I said, well, I'll go read the literature. But then it turned out there wasn't any literature. So then I said, well, all right, I'll take these political theories that we have that talk about justice domestically and try to apply it to the immigration question. And I came to the conclusion that they should all be for open borders, because they're all committed to a certain kind of vision of human moral equality and freedom. And when you work the logic of that through, it's really difficult to justify the modern nation state and the privileges that are associated with being in a rich state rather than a poor one. After moving to Canada, where questions about Indigenous peoples, questions about Quebec, so questions about collective identity are much more on the table than they are in the United States. And you can't escape them so readily. One of the things that struck me was that these moral claims for collectives are best understood when you are thinking about real problems with real people and the kind of concrete claims that they make. Instead of trying to start with abstract general principles and apply them to circumstances, I thought you should start with real cases, with the arguments that people make on their own behalf, and then try to sort out the merits of those arguments, working in a sense from the bottom up. So that was how I approached the problem of multiculturalism, and that has echoes with the work that I did on immigration. And now I'm kind of, having finished the work on immigration and multiculturalism, I'm turning back to the questions about economic justice that I started with many years ago.